praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the other sincere followers of this truth, which, Lord willing, I am a part of that number, which when I speak the word sincere, what I mean is the remnant, okay? Just really quick, before I start this topic, I wanted to touch on this again, that I'm not a part of GMS, but I'm not apart from what they speak, okay? I believe that they are the Lord, the men of the Lord, all right? I believe that they have passed on the truth and nothing but the truth as far as the scriptures are concerned, all right? Because of the things that I have taken notes on, studied, and read thus far, okay, everything has turned out to be exactly what they have found in their search, and they have passed this on through the spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, things that weren't spoken too much before they got on the internet. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear. So when you hear me give double honors to the elders of GMS, that doesn't mean, and I do this every video, so that doesn't mean that I'm a part of that group. Okay, they understandably have a vetting process. They lose members due to the Spirit of the Lord putting it on them to kick certain members out. They also gain members. Okay, and I don't mean members. They gather the brotherhood circumspectly. All right, they have to vet people understandingly. And we have a lot of people, just as in the world, you have a lot of fake people, right? People who talk with their mouth but don't really back up what they say. You know, talk is cheap, right? Your actions show yourself more than just words do. Okay, so they have to be careful of who they vet into that thing. But which all they speak on is just do the work. That's all they're worried about is doing the work of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, which is that's what everyone should be worried about doing. Seeking out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Why does it say with fear and trembling? Because everybody can pick up this book and read it and think they understand it. Does that mean if you go out there and speak what you think is the truth, that it is the truth? No. Where does the fear and trembling come in? It's because you have to do your research, you have to read, you have to study. So none of these things have I found on my own, all right? The Father had to will the Spirit to hit the men that he put that on all throughout time, the truth, okay? All throughout time and reach my ear, okay? The Lord comes to you. You don't come to the Lord, all right? All right? So thus far, I have been, I don't want to say luck, blessed, all right? Blessed thus far because I didn't have to filter through groups, all right? When I first came into this knowledge, it's been with GMS, all right? I didn't have to leave the world, get snagged by another group who went off and just blindly followed them, and then had to work my way out of that mentally and jump into another group and so on and so forth. They were put right in front of me. Okay, so I just wanted to hit on that I'm not a part of GMS. All right, but since I'm bringing that up, I do urge you to go to the community tab on this page and go find those teachers, man. If the Lord wills you to, okay? But please, if you go from this channel, all right, and this is just me speaking as a man, I beg you just to go over there and listen. Don't go over there to scoff and then just spurt out what you know, even if you heard it from me. All right, go, listen, and study. All right, and hopefully the Lord willing, you get on this path and you find life. All right. Anyway, this topic is still, this is the 11th video on the topic of Lazarus and the rich man. All right. We're going to start in Isaiah. I'm going to read Isaiah 63 and verse 6, and then we'll move on from there. Okay. All right. So Isaiah 63, verse 6 in the King James. It reads, "And I will tread down the people in mine anger." All right. What people? People outside of this path. All right. People outside of the remnant. And I'm mainly speaking to people in America. All right. If you are outside of being an Israelite, you're in trouble automatically. Okay. If you are an Israelite, that doesn't mean you're safe either. All right. 2/3 of Israelites are walking around here dead still. All right. They shun what the Lord told us to warn you about. There are many warnings in here. Recently, you've heard me go into one warning at the end. But really, this topic is a warning. All right, these parables are warnings. The whole scriptures are warnings. They're putting the word out in the earth. Okay. Nowadays, they're putting the truth out in the earth. All right. The men are explaining and guiding you to the knowledge of what these things mean. But from cover to cover, this is what is told to tell the Israelites. This is what we are to make you known of. All right. These entire scriptures, which I don't know them all. I'm still learning, but I am on this path, which 2/3 of Israel are not going to even be able to say that when the time comes. When the time of Isaiah 63 and verse 6, "I will tread down the people in mine anger." All right, you're going to get caught up in that. Anyway, for the rest of that verse, it says, "And make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth." All right, that's everyone, but mainly, okay, that's talking about Esau. He's the only one with, he's a top level one with strength in this earth, or his so-called strength. Every piece of power that he has, every piece of knowledge that he has was given from Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all right? Or Yahweh, okay? They don't consider him though. All right, so a lot of people are going to be killed in that day. All right. So now let's go to Luke 16, verses 22 through 23. All right. I'm going to read this first in the King James, and then we'll go on to see if these other translations hold up to the truth. All right. Luke 16, verses 22 and 23. All right. This is a red letter. So this is the Lord speaking. All right. Yahweh Shai. Oh, Yahweh is whom the world ignorantly calls God. Right? God is a title and a trait, but his name is Yahweh. That's the Almighty's name. All right. How are we to come into knowing ourselves if we don't know our power? All right. That's a part of us coming into knowing ourselves, is knowing our power, which includes his name. All right. His son, the only begotten, the Messiah, his name is Yahweh Shai. All right. It is not whom the world ignorantly calls him. All right. What is the name that the world ignorantly calls Yahweh Shai? Jesus, for example, among other names. All right, but his true name is Yahweh Shai. And when you speak these names, you are speaking Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, or the Lashawan Kodash. Kodash meaning holy, and Lashawan meaning tongue. All right, the holy tongue. All right, so Luke 16 verses 22 and 23 in the red letter. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. All right, and it came to pass, or excuse me, yeah, this is a rich man and Lazarus. This is back to the parable. All right, keep in mind the parable. Even if we go to these other scriptures, keep that title and topic in mind. All right. All right. It reads. This is verse 22. It reads, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man died also and was buried. Verse 23. And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. All right. So you have just as in Revelation 11 and 12. All right. I'll go ahead and read this. All right. Revelation 11 and verse 12 in the King James. It reads, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Okay. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right. So again, just as in that verse in Revelation that we just read, all right, when Esau sees Israelites in the kingdom, okay, in a righteous state, Esau will cry out. All right, he's gonna be upset. He's gonna be mad. Esau's heaven is an Israelite's hell, and vice versa. All right, that's why things are the way that they are. That's why we are constantly in hell. That doesn't mean a place where your soul burns forever. Again, there is no such place. There's videos on this channel you can go look at, explaining this. Just scroll up until you'll see those videos. Um, so, so when we are in the kingdom, what do you think that's going to mean for Esau? All right, he is not going to be. At that point he's going to know he's not up anymore. I mean, he's starting to know it now. His pride is being used as crutches, but all of that shit is about to fall now, along with everyone that's holding on to him. But in the kingdom, Esau's going to know. All right, he is back in his rightful place, the basis of men, the lowest of low. All right, that is going to be our heaven, our rest. It's going to be the opposite for Esau. All right. Let me read the Luke 16, 22 and 23 in the NLT. All right, it reads, finally the poor man died and was carried by the angels to sit beside Abraham at the heavenly banquet. The rich man also died and was buried, and he went to the place of the dead, all right, the pit in the ground, all right. There, in torment, he saw Abraham in the far distance with Lazarus at his side. Okay? So again, I'm going to get the Good News translation, and then I'll do that explanation again, all right? Luke 16, verses 22 and 23. He reads, the poor man died and was carried by the angels to sit beside Abraham at the feast in heaven. The rich man died and was buried, and in Hades, where he was in great pain, he looked up and saw Abraham far away with Lazarus at his side. Okay. So again, just as in Revelation 11 and 12. Did I even read that right? Revelation 11 and 12. Let me go back here and look, just to be sure. Yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, just as in Revelation 11 and 12, when Esau sees Israelites in the kingdom in a righteous state, Esau will cry out. All right, Esau's heaven is an Israelite's hell, and vice versa. All right, Esau and all other nations are going to be in hell, because this thing is only for the Israelites. Salvation, deliverance is only for Israelites. It doesn't matter if you like hearing that or believe that or not. That's what it is. Let's go to Revelation 20 and verse 5. All right. It reads, but this is a King James. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. All right. The 1,000 years has to be up before the other nations get their inheritance back. All right. The Lord is we're going to rule, but in a righteous state. These other nations are going to have their own places to live. They're going to be under our subjection. There is not going to be any other gods heard about. All right, they're not going to be able to worship these other idols, these fake gods. All right, everyone is going to know and worship. All right, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So the 1,000 years has to be up before these other nations get their inheritance back, meaning that they will not be in a good state. Just like in Colossians 3 and 3, we are dead to this world. All right, we have no pleasure in this world. Okay, and usually when you ride by camps, or not really ride by, I'm gonna just say this: when people are online talking about Israelites have bad attitudes, or they don't look pleasant, it's because of what we feel about this world, man. We are dead to this place. We have no pleasure in it. All right, this in the state that this place is in, this isn't how it was supposed to be. All right, we recognize the big picture, yes, and we know that we have a lot of good things coming, but there's a lot of bad shit coming first, and we don't know who is who until that day. All right, we also have to deal with not only these other nations coming against us, we got to deal with our own coming against us. Okay, we're going through the same walk that Yahweh Shai went through. People not believing on him, people talking against him, people trying to kill him, and at the end they did kill him. We have to go on knowing that this is going to happen. These bad things are going to happen, and knowing that they did happen already. What we did and what the world did to Yahweh Shai, man, that's not it. Look, we don't go walking around the earth crying and moping all the time. I mean, our spirit is crying out all the time, right? But we don't walk around here happy all the time, man. This is not a happy place to be in fully. Yes, there are a lot of good things here, all right? As far as the Lord's blessings, I mean. Little things that keep us happy, like is mentioned in the scriptures, wine, all right? All right, but for the most part, when we are out here speaking these things, we got our mind on these scriptures, all right? These things are full of what? What did it say? Lamentations, funeral songs, woe. Okay? That's what you see. And it comes out in a way when we speak this truth sternly. Okay? That's what that is. Again, Revelation 20 and 5. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So the 1,000 years has to be up before these other nations get their inheritance back, meaning that they will not be in a good state. Just like in Colossians 3 and 3, we are dead to this world. We have no pleasure in this world. Let's go there. Colossians. All right, hold on. Hold on a second. All right, Colossians chapter 3, verse 3 in the King James. It reads, "For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in Yahushai." All right, so that is where our lives are, man. And we know this. It's not here. It's not here. All right. So the other nations will have no pleasures in the next world. All right. The other nations will be slaves and captives for 1,000 years, tributaries unto Israelites, but they will have their own places. All right. There's going to be no other worship besides this. The things pleasing unto Yahweh and Yahushai, which does not include any other gods at all whatsoever. All right. I want to see what Colossians 3 and 3 says in the NLT and in the Good News. All right, since I'm here, I'll just go ahead and read the Good News first. Colossians 3 and 3 in the Good News translation. It says, "For you have died, and your life is hidden with Hamashiach in Yahweh." So, Hamashiach in Yahushai, excuse me. So, um, Ha is the, Mashiach is Messiah. All right. Let's read this again. See what the NLT says. Colossians 3 and 3. All right. The heading of chapter 3 in the NLT says living the new life. Does that mean brand new? That means living a refreshed life, man. Okay. Colossians 3 and 3 in the NLT reads, "For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Hamashiach in Yahushai, in Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai." All right. That is where our life is. Our real life. Okay. Speaking of real life, don't get me wrong. Everything that we're going through is a real walk. Okay. But really, everything down here is a damn lie. This is the only truth down here. In this path that it has us on. All right. Don't get me wrong. Everything is real. We do have to walk this walk. This is a battle that we're in. This is something that was written by Yahweh. All right. Okay. So even these lies down here, I don't want to get anybody twisted up. And just never mind that. So again, the other nations will have no pleasure in the next world. All right. The other nations will be slaves and captives for 1,000 years and then receive their lands back. All right. After this, they will still be tributes to Israelites, but they will have their own places. All right. We're going to rule in righteousness. I don't mean you can get out of line and start mentioning these other gods, or you're gonna get clipped. You're gonna get fucked up. All right, but it's not gonna happen. It's not. None of that is gonna happen, man. Now let's go to Isaiah 14 verses 18 and 19. All right, Isaiah 14 verses 18 and 19 in the King James. It reads, "All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet." All right, so other nations will receive their lands. Other nations will receive their lands and be in subjection. But as for Esau and the Edomites, they will be also in captivity for 1,000 years, and then destroyed from off of the earth. That is what you have coming. That is your inheritance, man. All right, Esau has no inheritance and will cry out from their hell, and then receive their punishment from the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Esau will again ask for Israelites to come and feed his needs. Like the homeborn slave most of us love to be in these days. All right, a lot of, especially these preachers and all that shit, man. Y'all love pandering to Esau, man. All right, y'all love having that image of I hate saying this word, but that image of Jesus over you, man. All right, you love having a so-called white man over you. All right, so you pander to him. You won't drop this thing, man. And even outside of the church, there are still people that pander to him. All right. Let's read this again in the NLT. Isaiah 14 verses 18 and 19. All right, it reads, this is in the NLT. "The kings of the nations lie in a stately glory, each in his own tomb. But you will be thrown out of your grave like a worthless branch, like a corpse trampled underfoot. You will be dumped into a mass grave." All right, does that sound horrible, Esau? You've done this. You've done this before. Let's see what this says in the good news. Isaiah 14 verses 18 and 19 in the good news. It reads, "All the kings of the earth lie in their magnificent tombs, but you have no tomb, and your corpse is thrown out to rot. It is covered by the bodies of soldiers killed in battle, thrown with them into a rocky pit, and trampled down." Damn. We got Jacob's trouble coming. Uh, you got a lot of trouble coming too, man. Okay. Let's go to Revelation 21 and verse 1. All right, and the heading says a new heaven and a new earth. All right, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. All right, so the tides will turn, and Israel will be in authority. All right, the earth will be refreshed. All right, which is what new means, refreshed. Let me check this out really quick. Probably won't have it in here, but just let me see. All right, I was just looking for the word new, but there's examples in here of refreshed. But that word goes back to refresh, not brand new like we think it to mean. And let me check something else while I'm in here also. All right, let's let me read also Revelation. Stay in that chapter, and we'll read verse 2. Revelation 21 and 2 now, right? I'll read both of them together. It says, and I saw, this is King James, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Again, that word new goes back to refreshed. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right, New Jerusalem are the elect. Okay, the elect will come down prepared to rule the earth. All right, or inherit the earth. Okay, because we are joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's read this again. Those two verses, Revelation 21 verses 1 and 2. All right, this is an NLT. Revelation 21 verses 1 and 2. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the old heaven and the old earth had disappeared, and the sea was also gone. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, like a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. All right, we're putting on these new garments, which is the truth now, but the Lord is going to give us new bodies, man. He's going to have this law put within us, okay? Again, Revelation 21 verses 1 and 2 in the good news. Let's see. It reads, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. The first heaven and the first earth disappeared, and the sea vanished. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared and ready, like a bride dressed to meet her husband. All right, so again, the tides will turn and Israel will be in authority. The earth will be refreshed, which means, or new, which means refreshed. Okay. New Jerusalem, meaning the elect. All right, the elect will come down prepared to inherit the earth. All right, let's go back to Luke. Keep that in mind. We're going over this parable, Lazarus and the rich man. Let's go back to Luke 16 and read verse 24. All right. Luke 16, verse 24. Still in the red letter, it reads, "And he cried and said, Father Abraham," all right, this is a rich man crying out now. "And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame." Okay, so 24, I read 24. So when Esau is in a bad spot, then he will want mercy. But now Esau is in a different mindset. He didn't want mercy now, man. He ruling this world with pride. He's running over everybody. He ain't thinking about no mercy now, right? So Esau doesn't want to have mercy, nor do they seek forgiveness for what he has done. All right? Right now, he is a proud predator and looks on us as prey. Okay? Let me read that again. Luke 16 and 24 in the NLT. And I hope this is making sense to you, man. I pray that the Lord is, well, he's going to do it anyway. He's going to let the Spirit go where it needs to go. Luke 16, verse 24 in the NLT, it reads, "The rich man shouted, Father Abraham, have some pity. Send Lazarus over here to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. I am in anguish in these flames." Don't let this throw you off to thinking that hell is a place where you burn forever. This is speaking about something else. It's speaking about him being in a low state and still wanting a slave to bring him some comfort, man. Okay? Why would, if he was in actual flames, is he screaming these things to the Lord? All right? Is dipping his fingertip in water, is that really going to quench these flames? That is not what it's talking about. There is no place where your soul burns forever. Let's do the good news now. Let's see what the good news says, man. Let's see if it holds up. Luke 16, verse 24. It reads, "So he called out, Father Abraham, take pity on me, and send Lazarus to dip his finger in some water and cool off my tongue, because I am in great pain in this fire." All right. Okay. So now let's go to Psalm 50, Psalm 50 and verse 21. All right, this is back to Asaph, all right? Psalm chapter 50, verse 21. It reads, in the King James, it reads, "These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." So the Lord hasn't jacked Esau up for his treachery yet, but he has a special reward coming for them. Very special. You have a special reward coming, Esau. All right. One that no one else is going to receive too. All right. It's just a little bit on the fucked up side. Righteously fucked, all right? All right? Righteously, respectfully fucked up, all right? People wonder how we found out that we are Israelites, okay? The spirit and will of Yahweh Shai, or the spirit and will of Yahweh is how. That's how. All right, we are being set in order and reproved at this time while our enemies watch. Okay, and they notice that something is different. Something is going on, man. The Lord is at work in his people. Okay, in his remnant, which is more scary to you Edomites, man. Us having order, that is your biggest problem. Before, right after Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that they are your biggest problem. All right, but us standing on our feet is making you afraid now, man. You're seeing that we have order. Okay? Let's read that again in the NLT. Why am I saying? Let's read that again in the NLT. It is Psalm 50 and verse 21 in the NLT. Psalm 50 and verse 21 in the NLT, excuse me. All right, it reads, while you did all this, I remained silent, and you thought I didn't care. But now I will rebuke you, listing all my charges against you. All right, and if you listen to what the men of the Lord are saying, you will hear those charges day in and day out. That's why they're taking down videos. All right, that's why they're trying to make laws to make it illegal to speak these things. They want to throw this label anti-Sem on it because they know people are ignorant to what that is. All right, who are the people of Shem? Okay? Guess what, Esau? We both are. We both are. All right? But only one of us are going to get the blessings and the promises. All right? Let's read this again in the Good News. Psalm 50 and 21 in the Good News translation. All right, it reads, you have done all this, and I have said nothing. So you thought that I am like you, but now I reprimand you and make the matter plain to you. This is the matter. This is the entire matter. This is what's going on. All right? You're in trouble, man. I keep saying that. That's just mortal words right there. That's just mortal words. So you know something, trouble. All right, Revelation, let's go to Revelation 11 and verse 11. It reads, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. We just spoke on this. The Lord putting us back in order, bringing us back to the truth, making us stand on our feet. And you watching and seeing this, and it's got you shook, man. It's got you shook. Let's read this again in both of these translations. NLT 11 and 11 of Revelation. reads, but after 3.5 days, God breathed life into them, and they stood up. Terror struck all who were staring at them. Man, the whole world is staring at us, man. We are a wonder and a sign of the Lord being here still. These laws still being here. This truth being here. All right? Revelation 11:11 in the good news. How else could a people so destroyed, all right, come back into being in order? When this whole world wasn't trying to put us in order. Y'all mocked us, threw us on TV at our lowest state, and you still do. Because we are still, hey man, 2/3 of Israel, yo, they fucked up in the worst way. Put us on TV in all our shame, right? And accuse us. Okay? You accuse us. Let me check something really quick. Keep in mind the subject matter, man. It's Lazarus and the rich man. The spirit to have you going certain different ways, man. Sometimes it does what it wants to do, is what I mean. Let me see something really quick. Yeah, you accuse us, man, day and night. Stupid ass Israelites think you, and you throw them a crumb from your table, which even, I don't care, 100 million is a crumb. You throw them a crumb from your table, all right, we'll say a billion. These black billionaires, right? That's a crumb. And you got a nigga for life after you throw him a crumb from your table. You know that too, man. Niggas for life. All right, let's see what this says, man. Let's see. I'm looking for something really quick, man. Let me look up one more thing. Hold on. Anyway, I was looking up the word devil. It says slanderer. All right, an accuser. Okay? You throw us up on TV, accusing us. You throw us on the radio, accusing us. And yes, rappers, I don't know, they write their own lyrics, all right? They know better than to get on. Well, I'm not going to say they know better. What I'm saying is they get on screen and act these things out. You know, they get on the radio and spew these things, all right? But who owns these radio stations? Who promotes this music? I'm not going to say the whole world knows it for a fact, but I know that there's other rappers out there, other actors. Hey, I know people who teach the truth of the Bible that you don't push. You know, they tell you things that bring life, decent things. You don't push that, but even outside of that, all right. Why would you throw somebody on TV who goes against you, Esau? But we'll talk about these rappers and shit, man. You could be promoting different music. There's other music out there. It's a scheme of yours, man. This is all the scheme that's not gonna work. You trying to show the world how you want. You trying to put us in a certain light, how you want the world to see us. And to your point, which is how a lot of the 2/3 are. All right, stupid, sawdust. The Lord told us that. Okay, but it is not the artists fully. All right, it's these companies, these corporations that push this bullshit, man. Anyway, did I read Revelation 11:11 in the Good News? I think I did, but let's check. It reads after, this is the Good News translation of Revelation 11, verse 11. After 3.5 days, a life-giving breath came from God and entered them, and they stood up, and all who saw them were terrified. All right. That's what I think a lot of this is headed towards now anyway. Y'all scared and worried that this is the truth, which it is. And you should be scared, all right? But a lot of this fear is driving people, well, driving Esau to act up even more, or be more embedded in his lot, right? Which is what the Lord said. All right, you're gonna be scared, but you're still gonna fight. That's what you're doing. You're gonna do that till the end, till you get your ass beat, man. Now let's go back to Luke 16 and verse 24. All right. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the video right there for that topic. All right. And Lord willing, looks like we may only have one more video to go on this topic thus far, okay? All right. So that's going to end it for Lazarus and the Rich Man on this video. But before I shut this video out, the scriptures as a whole is what we are told to tell you. All right, what the men of the Lord are told to tell you. Lord willing, I'm of that number. Okay. I'm striving, reading, studying. Let's do this. Revelation 1 and 3. Revelation 1 and 3 reads, Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Okay? Blessed is he that readeth. All right? And you have to be able to hear, listen, okay? And keep the things that you hear and stay on this path. All right, let's go to 2 Timothy really quick. 2 Timothy 2 and 15. reads, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right, you're going to read, you're going to hear, you're going to keep the things that you hear, then you're going to go study them. And in doing these things, you won't be ashamed when you learn this truth. You'll be able to divide what's true from what's not true, from what's clean and unclean. All right, you won't have to be ashamed. So this is the path that the remnant would take, that the remnant will take. We don't have a choice. We are subjected to everything that is in the scriptures. So we are going to walk this path, all right? Lord willing, I'm of that number, okay? You can be on this path and then get sifted out right at the end. Keep in mind Judas. He was one of the 12 until he wasn't. All right, so we always have to stay humble. Also, don't judge with your eyes, all right? Israel is spread into all nations. We look like all nations, sound like all nations, walk, talk, and worship, which is the worst, like all nations. All right, but we are waking up and standing on our feet, just like we just read. All right. With that being said, the Lord Yahushai looked like a so-called black man. All right, he came from the tribe of Judah. Okay. He wasn't what we think of, or what we don't think of that anymore, but he wasn't this image that's going around the earth. All right, as a so-called long-haired white man. Okay. That's a lie. They changed the names, they changed the images, and they changed the understanding of what is in these scriptures purposefully. All right? They go about speaking lies as soon as they be born. You can't take that lightly. They are good at this thing, man. It is only the Spirit of the Lord that will have you wake from that and start walking on his path, contrary to that other one. Okay? Quit walking contrary to the Lord is what I mean. Walk with him, and he will walk with you. Okay? But one of the warnings, these whole scriptures are what we are supposed to tell you, okay? The understanding of. As we grow in spirit, we let things be known. Okay? But one of the warnings I just want to touch on really quick is Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. All right, it reads, and he causeth all, the he being Esau Edom, all right, the rich man in that parable, Lazarus and the rich man, all right, that's what it's likened to. And causeth all. He's going to make what this warning is about mandatory throughout the whole world, okay? All. It says, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So if you listen to that, rich and poor, free and bond, people that are totally opposites of each other are going to have to take these things, all right? They're going to make it mandatory for everyone. And they're going to have different ways of persuading you. Okay, if you're poor, they're going to give you shit. If you're rich, whatever you consider to be rich on this earth, all right, they're going to take that away from you. They're gonna pander to your needs, deceptively. Okay, really, it's what they want is what you're going to give into. They know what buttons to push. Okay, either that or threaten you. Okay, not empty threats either. They're going to threaten to take your life, your loved one's life, take things away from you, give you things, because a motherfucker will roll over if you. Hey, we was talking about black billionaires, and you got a nigga for life. Okay, they're going to give you shit. They're going to give false promises too. False promises. They're good at that shit too, man. All kinds of deceivableness they're going to use to get you to take this thing. Do not take it. And you won't take it if you are of the remnant, all right? Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell. You're not going to be able to buy or sell shit. All right, they're going to attack your money, which is going to lead to your food. You're not going to be able to eat. These are not going to be empty threats, man. You're about to see how evil these people are. If you don't see it already, it's plain. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. Right? If you take this mark, you'll be able to eat some shit. It's probably literally shit that you'll be able to eat. All right. They are the ones who are going to be living high on the hog. All right. And that no man might buy, this is verse 17 still, Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, which is all in one. You take this mark, you are pledging allegiance. You are pledging allegiance to this devil. Okay? You are pledging allegiance. You are showing allegiance. You are drawing a sand in the line, or a line in the sand, and choosing a side at this point. All right? So what happens? Are you going to be okay? Can you repent after this? Can you repent after this? No. Just like Esau, when he wanted his birthright and blessings back, he couldn't get it back. All right? He could not get it back. That's what this is likened to also. You're done after this. And you can't fake it either. If you're not an Israelite, or even if you are a wicked ass Israelite, you can't pretend like you've been in this thing and seeking him, the Lord, this whole time. You can fool men, you can fool yourself, but you cannot fool the Lord, man. Some way, somehow, he's going to sift you out. So no, you will not be okay. There's no scriptures in the Bible saying that if you take this thing, you'll be all right. You'll be able to repent. Just give it a month. You know, after 5 seconds of having this thing in you, you'll be able to repent. All right? Do not take this thing. It is a micro C-hip. 2 examples I always give is a company called, I'm not going to say company, I really don't know what they are. Search on YouTube, search Walletmore, WALLETMOR, and keep in mind that how fast technology is moving, how fast it's growing, and keep in mind how old those videos are. All right. Also, look up Neuralink or Elon Musk's brain technology. All right. These things are in the earth, but like we stated, this prophecy hasn't happened yet. Why not? It's because it says, and he causeth all. This thing is going to be made mandatory. Okay, that's the difference. Yes, it is in the earth, but it hasn't been made mandatory yet. So what do you have to look forward to? In the next chapter, Revelation 14, verses 9 and 10, it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark on his forehead or in his hand, all right, if you take this chip, the same shall drink, not maybe, not might, not possibly, but you shall drink, you will drink. This is a definite. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So as the Lord comes back, as he redeems his remnant, as we are being brought up into the chariots, missiles are going to come down and have a feast. Or you're going to have a feast on missiles, one way or the other, all right? So that's going to be it for this video today. Lord willing, we'll be back again and speak on this topic, speak on the rest of my notes on this topic of Lazarus and the rich man, all right? So with that, all praise to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, where I have learned this truth and where I'm still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant, all right? The ones who are truly sincere about this thing and are going to stay in this thing until the Lord returns. All right. Yeah. So with that, Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.